Hello, friends, and welcome into the TexAgs Rewind presented by the four-time Retailer of the Year, Specs. You want to get your drink on? You want to get your party on? You want to just go find the right selection? You go to Specs. Hello, Nick Savage.
Howdy.
How are you?
I'm bored.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at you, how much
Antsy?
did you have your little
I didn't, no.
energy drink?
No, I
Look
haven't
at
in
your,
a couple
your
days.
Body
I'm
language.
trying not to.
Giving me like,
See, Brawny has these jokes, and he just sticks to them. So he has his line of attack on me, but
yeah.
I'm kind of like you. I don't fire back. He can say what he wants.
I sometimes fire back. What'd you think of Bronny on the Go Hour?
He was good.
The Bro
He was good.
Hour.
He was good.
Yeah?
He was good.
You didn't listen, did you?
No. I literally didn't listen to
Anything.
98% of the show. I heard here and there, but
You're fired.
But I know what's on the rewind.
Ava Davis, Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Your favorite part of the show?
I was really excited to hear from Trisha Ford.
She was awesome.
She was awesome. I was sad that we didn't get to hear her last week, but I'm glad I was here to hear her today. And I was excited to hear from Jason Howell. That's the first time him being in studio.
Only person who's ever said that.
I got to meet him. I was really excited. I got to actually talk to him because when he's on the phone, I don't talk to him. But it was cool to hear from him.
I like Jason Howell. Christopher Martin's behind the glass. Your favorite part of the show?
I'd say either Trisha Ford or Jason Howell. I do like softball.
It's Dalton.
And
It's Dalton.
It's Shane Gillis and Dalton.
Shane Gillis and Dalton.
Yeah, we got to come up with a nickname for that combines the two
it's
names.
horrible. But also
Dalton.
Shane Hughes.
Jason Howell
Dalton
with
Gillis.
Recruiting Country is also pretty good.
What's on the rewind? I don't even know. What's on it?
Trisha Ford,
I like
Recruiting
her.
Country,
I like him.
Go Hour
like
with
that.
Brawny, and who am I forgetting? John Harris, of course.
Yep, all that. It's a lot of rewinding. Watch it.
While the coaching stability is there, that I think it's more up in the air than it ever has been, because I talked about this whenever I hosted the show when you were out. Convince me that these teams on A&M's schedule are either head and shoulders above A&M or even ahead of A&M at all. When I look at Florida, South Carolina, LSU, Auburn, like all these teams where I think those games would be considered in flux. If you're an A&M, you're looking at, okay, coin flip.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, convince me why A&M's not the better team when their roster continuity is better than a lot of those.
1,000%, and I think you hit it head on. But when we talk about the coaching continuity and the roster retention and all that, that is why we could have a chaotic season, because there's so many unknowns throughout the entire league. For instance, Georgia. I have a lot of questions about Georgia. They might be the best in the SEC.
Well, you'd lean toward it because of their history.
But I don't know about Gunnar Stockton, okay? I don't know about their offensive line. Vegas has them winning 9.5 games this year. Would it surprise you if they only won 9?
No, and look, for all that A&M wanted back with Noah Thomas, he goes to Georgia, and does he elevate their passing game? But I don't know that you can definitively say that. And I like Noah as a kid, and I liked him as a player here, but I don't know that he's the type of receiver that elevates Gunnar Stockton in that entire passing game to a level that makes me confidently say, yeah, they're going to be another double-digit win Georgia team. Now, it's Kirby Smart, and that roster is crazy. And we with all the camp stuff going on in town this week, we were actually looking at some stuff about the top 5 guys the top 5 rated recruits in each class, and we compared A&M and Texas over the last 5 years. So it ended up being it's something like 60 kids. How many of those guys got drafted between A&M and Texas and compared it to Alabama and Georgia? It was something like 30% of the top 5 recruits from A&M and Texas's class from the last 4 years. So that's right. I think that's 60 players. Only 30% of those got drafted. When you do that same stat in that same timeline category for Alabama and Georgia, it's like 80%.
Right.
So they are hitting at an exceptionally high rate. So
can you talk about, going back to Liberty, just what they did so well? It just seemed like Dot Richardson just had prepared for your club.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a great club. I think Dot, had them prepared. I felt like they just never gave up. Very similar to us, to be honest with you. I think, we just couldn't execute at the level we needed to when it mattered. I felt we did a lot of really good things. I felt offensively we fought cat and dog, and we just sometimes that's unfortunate how this game goes. But we picked a hard weekend to have an off weekend. Yeah.
How do you balance the historic success with the disappointing and knowing there's a lot of things we are very proud of, but then at the end it ended prematurely.
Yeah, and I think I'm still,
Yeah.
trying to get through it. Usually in the month of July is when I really sit back and really reflect on what happened from the year before. But, Coach Harger and I sat down yesterday. We talked about some things that I really would like to see us do better. Just differences. I've talked, to Coach Heff quite a bit. Just some things that I feel like we could approach differently that I think will help us. There's a lesson to be learned in this, and that's what I keep going back. I have a lot of faith, and I feel like God only gives you what you can handle, and so there's something that I have to get better at, and so that's what kind of our mission is right now.
What is your approach to the portal this offseason? Obviously, dead period right now,
Yeah.
but I imagine once that's over, y'all are going to start rolling.
Yeah, we've already had a couple visit here in Aggieland when we could, and then obviously we'll start back up pretty heavy this next week. I mean, we're in it. We have a lot of pieces returning. We have Maya Perez, Amari Harper, Kennedy Powell. You saw the emergence of Sydney Lessentine and Kate Munnerlin, and you've had Frankie, KK Dement. I mean, the future is very bright here, and so I think for us, it's going in there and getting a couple more arms. They're going to be expensive, so if anybody wants to come and support our NIL, give me a call. But we have some really, really good pieces that anybody would want to come and be a part of.
Braylon I think he won the fastest man award at camp. I don't know his 40 times, so forgive me, but he's
fast.
Yeah, he's fast and he's big physical kid. You walk in the door, you see Braylon Lane, you're going, that's a D1 ball player. That's what that looks like. And so they went head to head numerous times, and you could tell they were pushing each other really well, and they got a lot of good reps in. And afterwards, it was kind of like, hey, they were trying to recruit each other to the same high school. It was kind of funny, but yeah, both of them came in holding A&M offers. I know Raylan Henry, he was very, very high on Texas A&M. Following the visit, got to spend a lot of quality time with Coach Peterson, and I know Mason Smith has played a role there, and just the whole support staff. It's been a lot of guys, but yeah, he's the next man up there. Braylon Lane, Bronny will tell you all about him. They've been all over him. Kate got to see him this spring, was raving about him before he got his offer, and then of course he picks up his offer and comes to camp and looks like $1 million. Yeah, there's I mentioned Calais, and then yesterday you had the 7-on-7 camp, and Peyton Houston, man, it doesn't get much better and cleaner from a quarterback perspective. So polished. Every camp he goes to, he's going to be the favorite to win the MVP award because he does everything. He's got quick release, short arm motion. He makes quick decisions. He gets the ball in tight spaces. He can throw the long ball. He's on the short side. And that's kind of knocked him down.
This worked for us before.
You know what? As a short guy, more power to you, man.
Right.
Do your thing. So, yeah, he's.
By the way, what's considered short today? What's short?
Well, I'm on the short side of short at 5'6". So, but he's under 6 foot for quarterback standards. That's
really about they're talented pieces, but they're the right pieces. And they're right for our organization. And what's right for the Texans isn't going to be right for the Eagles. Isn't going to be right for the Chiefs. Isn't going to be right for the Titans. The same way what's right for A&M may not be right for Alabama. It may not be right for LSU. It might not even be right for Texas. And vice versa. I look at some of the players that go to the University of Texas, and I don't think they would fit at Texas A&M. You know this as well as I do. They're just different vibes, at A&M than there are at the University of Texas. Thing is, how does your way of doing it and how you've built it get to a point where you can, I don't say be on their level, but knock them off, beat them every year, be in that blue blood category every year in college football? And I feel like Mike's built that foundation. Now it's time to continue to build on it such that A&M can be that team that is 10, 11, 12 wins every year in consideration for the playoff every single year. And once they get to that status, with all the money and everything that flows into A&M, I think A&M is going to be right where they want to be. And we'll say that Mike Elko, maybe not the most talented coach, but we'll say he's the right coach for Texas A&M, and that's the most important thing.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and stick around for more shows. What do y'all say for this?
What a natural, though. He knew exactly what to say first time.